Okay, thank you very much. So here to talk about some of A3J Group's mobility solutions, specifically going to get into some hardware integrations that we are really excited to show and demonstrate today. But first things first, I want to talk a little bit about what our philosophy is with respect to mobility, and sort of the genesis of A3J Group and the MxMobile solution. So I had a lot of people asking me back, probably about 7, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, that if I could have dinner at my door in an hour by downloading the Uber Eats app to my phone, and simply, plugging in my address and some other information, how come it takes months for me to have mobile, on my phone just to complete a work order? And I never really had a great answer for that question. So it just shouldn't. Most everybody has a mobile phone now, and they're used to the sort of speed and convenience that comes with it. So from a traditionally, like I said, when we started this thing, many years ago, the process for getting mobile going involved a lot of server side installation, procurement, needed to procure licenses ahead of being able to try it and see your own data in the system. So for us, it was really a sort of time to value equation that we were trying to um, you know, limit as far as maximize the time to getting to a value proposition there. So we saw an opportunity in the space for fast, easy solutions, put it on the store, make it easy to try, easy to configure, and easy to use was sort of our philosophy there. And we did so. We built a handful of apps that were launched individually on app stores, and then a few years back brought them all together with our MX Mobile suite. So you can see we have work order tracking, operational asset management, a whole inventory suite with receiving, issuing, returning, receiving, and then some standalone apps like our workflow-based MX Approve app for accepting and rejecting workflow assignments. So our philosophy is no middleware. You simply download the app to your phone, provide your URL, username, and password, and you're off and running. And we do that by leveraging the Maximo JSON API for 100% of the transactions. We are able to work offline, and it's really easy to get started. So again, just more of our philosophy. The configuration of the mobile product is included in the license fees, so it's a fixed cost that our customers will incur. We do monthly app updates. So I like to say that this version of the app that's on the store currently is the worst version that we'll ever see, because we're constantly improving it, constantly adding new features, fixing bugs, making it run faster, and streamlining things. And then we'll provide training and do review sessions with our customers on a regular basis to make sure that they're getting value from it. So with this presentation, we're starting to look at like what's next in the landscape with respect to not only mobility but technology in general. And we're seeing that the smartphone tablet market is stronger than ever from a hardware perspective. Seeing lots of leverage in scanners, printers, and labels. And then finally, we are seeing some expansion of wearable technology, specifically highlighted the RealWear solution there as one of the leading industrial wearable technology units. So from our perspective, we're trying to make our mobile solution one that will be operated on any platform. So you're looking at iOS, Android, Windows, and really any style of device. We're seeing, like I said, an explosion, expansion of the types of devices and operating systems and so forth. And so we're looking at trying to make sort of one base of code be deployable anywhere and operate anywhere. And that's sort of our latest push from a technology perspective. So today we're going to highlight the RealWear case. I know it's just sort of evolving and coming into its own from a wearable technology perspective, but there's really two main use cases. The first being the see what I see use case. So the ability to put a device on attached to a hard hat. It's got a camera, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, etc., all on board. A lot of the voice translations all happen on board the device, so you don't have to worry about um, things like translation and offline. A lot of times with Siri in your phone, you'll notice that if you lose connection, Siri doesn't work. Well, with the RealWear device, all the voice translation for commands happens on board. So we can do things like Maximo transactions that will actually do work offline, and then when you come back online, it can sync back to Maximo. But again, two use cases. First is see what I see. So the ability to make like voice and video calls out to peers or supervisors to help with day-to-day transactions. So you can work with your hands. The person on the other end of the line can see what you see and can help guide you through basic maintenance activities or inspections or so forth. And then the second use case is for hands-free Maximo. So the ability to do anything that you would be able to do on your phone or tablet, such as log time against work orders, add work logs, complete work orders, or do inventory transactions, view asset information, capture meter readings, you name it. You can do it on a RealWear device simply by issuing voice commands. So with that, I'm going to kick out of the slide presentation and into a device here. So got a RealWear device. Now, most of the time you'll see it's sort of, I've got a little headband attachment that the device can sit on. You can see here that we've got a little viewfinder, and what I am seeing here in my viewfinder is what you are seeing here on the screen. So casting actually wirelessly the ability to see what I see on the screen. We have microphones, we have there you go. We have speakers, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all on board here. Also a hot swappable battery on this side. So the batteries are really meant to last for a full shift. They can be taken out and swapped back in with a replacement and recharged while in use. So very, very good capabilities with the battery. And the other great thing about these is they're meant for industry. And what that means is they can really operate in high sort of noise type of areas. The famous use case that the RealWear always uses is that they operate in a Harley Davidson bike repair shop. So when they want to fire up the bike and actually, show the customers or call back into the support shop and ask questions and so forth, they can have the choppers fully running and still be able to show, hear, see, and exchange information. So some pretty cool use cases there. Okay. So with this, the RealWare device is very simple. You speak commands as far as what you see in the viewfinder, and the device will act upon those commands. So we're going to dive into the RealWare device at this point. We'll have the ability to demonstrate the See What I See use case as well as hands-free Maximo. So the way the device works, we've got the viewfinder here. So what I'm seeing in the viewfinder is what you're seeing on the screen here. And after we activate the microphone, I'll say a command. Basically, whatever you see on the screen here, you can say. So I'll say a command, and it should register that command and click that action or take that button press and activate it and move you through the device. So I'll go ahead and activate the microphone and say my programs. Mute microphone. Now the device is very good at converting spoken commands into actions. But if you're speaking in conversation, it's also very good at taking the conversation and sort of not issuing commands if it thinks that you're having a conversation with somebody. So I've got to remember as I'm doing the demo to stop and pause and say a command before I expect it to take action. So let's go ahead and take a look at this Teams use case. Turn the microphone back on and say Teams. So with this, I will go ahead and make a phone call out to Kim Walter, and we'll do some troubleshooting here in the office. So select item 4. Hey, Kim Walter, how are you? Doing great. So I've got here Zebra ZQ520 mobile printer. Also been messing around with flare thermography camera. Always have tablets and so forth here on the desk. You can see it's a little bit messy, a little bit chaotic, but we're got my drill and got my hands that I'm working with here. So how are you? Excellent. Well, any advice here on me working on my desk other than to get it all cleaned up and tidy? All right. Well, thank you, Kim. Appreciate the time. All right. You too. Bye. Terminate call. So again, very simple to make those types of calls, can have interactive conversations. And again, the See What I See use case is a great one. Had a gentleman at a plant. His name was Lenny. He was the guy who was excellent at repairing the boiler system, or at least knowledge of the boiler system there at the plant. And during COVID, when only partial resourcing was allowed at the facility at any given time, if anybody needed to know what was going on with the boiler system, they had to call Lenny. So they actually had a couple of these RealWare devices at the shop, and what they do is they would, if they knew they were going and working on the boilers and Lenny wasn't there, they'd pick one up, put them on their head like so, go out into the field and call Lenny on the device, and he could walk them through what they were seeing while still using their hands. So very useful use case. Okay, the next use case is going to be our hands-free Maximo use case. So we'll have the ability to dive into our MxMobile app on the RealWare device, speak commands to it, navigate through work orders and other record types, and do some pretty standard Maximo style transactions just by issuing voice commands. So let's go ahead and dive right in. my programs, and MxMobile. So with MxMobile, first three pieces of information, as always, is your Maximo URL, username, and password. And that's all we really need to make a connection to your Maximo environment. So we've got the URL and the username there. So we're going to go ahead and say enter password, ABC mode, and letter MxMobile. Navigate back and log in. All right, so once we authenticate, we get a list of apps here, mobile apps. And we're going to start with MX Work. Mute microphone. All right, so what we start with here is a list of work orders. We have the ability to search work orders, also have the ability to apply saved queries for things like work assigned to me, etc. We can sort the list, scan a barcode, we can jump into specific records. I want to start by scanning a QR code, because I think that's really cool. I can use the camera that's right on the device here to scan a QR code and take me directly to a given work order based on the asset. So let's do that. Scan barcode. Pop up here. Let's see if we can catch this QR code. Excellent. And there's my work order. So let's go ahead and say view record 1. Okay, so here I've got the basic header information about the work order. I can say view tasks, look at some of the tasks associated with this work order. I can say view work logs. And let's go ahead and add work log. Enter description, dictation. Let's enter some text. Accept. Add work log to work order. And there you go. We've now got some notes that we've added to this work order. Let's say view costs and labor time. Enter regular hours. Number 3. Navigate back. Add labor to work order. So really simple stuff here. Let's go ahead and complete work order. Change status of work order. And we've now added a work log, added our labor time, and completed the work order. So clear search. Do a couple other things here. I'm going to say view record 2 and menu button. You can see a list of options that we have here. Enter meter readings. And then you can see we've got a list of active meters here for this work order. Let's say enter readings 2. We're going to put in the outlet pressure reading. And let's say 4500. Navigate back and create meter reading. So we've registered now 4,500 psi as the outlet pressure against that pump. Go back and let's complete work order. Change status of work order, and we're done with that one as well. So again, mute microphone. Basic information here. We've got work order lists. We can add labor time, meter readings, work logs, complete, change the status to in progress, etc. All of this just by speaking commands. Again, if we were to go offline, because the translation of the command to action happens on board the device here, all of that is possible in an offline scenario, meaning that since the app behaves offline and the commands behave offline, you should be able to capture transactions while not connected to Wi-Fi, and then post those transactions back to Maximo as the device regains its connection. So pretty excited about all this. Let's go ahead and go back. Let's go ahead and do a physical count. We'll say MX count. Choose record 1 for the central storeroom. We'll get our list here. Let's say view record 2. Enter physical count. And we'll say 610. Navigate back. This will be 610 feet of copper tubing. Update physical count. And you can see we get a little message here indicating there's a variance. Would you like to continue? Yes. And we've now posted our new physical count. Go back. And you can see here that the copper tubing value has been updated in the system. So go back, menu button, and log out. Okay. All right. That's all we got for today. Happy to field a number of questions and answer any questions that you have. But thank you for taking the time to attend, and hopefully we were able to show you something that you hadn't seen before. Thank you all.
Hey, Alex, looks like you might be muted.
Oh, sorry about that. Yep.
Good.
Yeah, so happy to field any questions. I saw there was a question in the chat about whether there was an intrinsically safe model. There is an intrinsically safe model. This is the regular model, but the RealWare Corporation does sell a model that is intrinsically safe. I think that's all the questions. I can hang out for a little bit in case anybody has any other questions. But otherwise, really appreciate everybody attending today. And want to also say thank you to the folks at Project Tech for hosting an event like this. This is very cool. Appreciate it.
All right, perfect. Well, we appreciate you, Alex. And if anyone does have any other questions, I believe you'll have a breakout room at 3:40 Eastern, correct?
Correct. You got it. I did see one question that just came in.
Yep.
Is user intervention required to sync the offline transactions? No. User intervention can happen. User can manually sync if they want to, but it can also automatically sync. So you can accrue transactions on the device, and then as you come back into connectivity, those transactions will automatically sync back to Maximo. So, all right. Well, thanks again. Appreciate it, Joe and team. And yeah, we'll if anybody has any questions, we'll be in the breakout room later today.
Perfect. Thanks, Alex. See everybody in the next session.